All right, looks like people are coming into the meeting space. We've got over 61 people joining us so far, so we'll give you all just a moment to get into the room, and hopefully everybody's audio is working. Perfect. And we've got a slide deck up for you guys on the screen here, so hopefully you can see that as well. We're taking a unique approach during unprecedented times of relaunching the CFC. We know that some of you guys have received training already, the CFC 101 campaign worker training, and some of you guys have not. And so the beginning of our session today is going to focus on the relaunching efforts and the strategy that we are encouraging to be deployed over the next 6 weeks or so through December 31st, the closing date of the campaign. And then once we wrap this up, we will let anybody who's received CFC training this year from us prior to the government shutdown, you are excused at that point, or you can stay with us by all means, especially if you're a first-time coordinator. It would probably benefit you to hear it again. So we will try to be as brief as we can, brief, bright, and be gone. And we will dive straight into today's training. I'm Jen Howard. I'm the Vice President and COO for MP May, one of the outreach coordinators contracted with OPM to provide marketing outreach coordinator services, training, et cetera, to 21 CFC zones. Everybody here is likely from a different one of our zones. So if everybody want to jump in the chat real quick, team, and get started with introductions, what agency you're with, how many years you've volunteered with the CFC, we would appreciate, and where you're calling, where you're joining from, whether that's Fairbanks, Alaska, or Tulsa, Oklahoma, or anywhere in between. We'd like to know where you're joining from as well. And my team who's here with us today, Antonia, Bruce, Shell, I believe Meg, Noemi, Zara, there's a handful of us. I can't see everybody, but my team is here and they will be managing the chat and engaging with you in the chat. We do have a couple opportunities where we ask you to answer some questions in the chat too, because as much as we're here to provide some training and support, we're also here to listen. So let's dive into the training. Bruce, next slide. Relaunching the CFC. So our agenda today is we're going to talk about steps of re-engagement. And we've done some research during the time away to understand how to best bring CFC to your workplace after what you guys have been through. And, you know, it's very important that we show empathy. We're going to provide some support and resources. We're shifting from asking people to give to acting on it. And we're going to give you some examples of that and the importance of changing our delivery and tone. So we're going to walk through these things. And again, we are extremely sensitive and empathetic and sympathetic to what you guys have been through. And, you know, there is a big opportunity here because I know that some of you reached out to us during the shutdown in need of services yourself or your colleagues. And CFC came full circle. The charities were here to show up and to help our federal family in their time of need. And so demonstrating that and helping your colleagues to understand how CFC truly is a full circle program, benefit, resource, opportunity to give, all of those things is we have a great opportunity to do that. And so we want to make sure we deliver that message, but that we do it with sympathy, with care and concern for our colleagues after what you guys have all been through. So next slide. All right, so showing empathy, you know, acknowledging that elephant in the room it's really important. We recognize the impact. We felt it. Many of you are not just our volunteers, you're our friends. And we've been sitting, you know, waiting, praying, hurting alongside of you and even with you, because it did impact our staff and our ability to work. And we had to, you know, go home as well at some point. So we're recognizing that, we're sympathetic to this, and we want to especially thank you for your resilience and your dedication to public service and for returning to this mission. We can only imagine how hard it must be for you guys today. So as you prepare to reintroduce and present the CFC, remember to show empathy to your colleagues. Remember your approach and your delivery, and being able to listen and hear them out is going to be really important. As some people are going to have things they want to share, and people will have a story. And if you hear the stories from your colleagues of them going to food banks, and I know Houston had a huge, specifically for federal employees, lines that they set up at different locations. The food banks did. If you know of these situations, if you know colleagues who are willing to share their story, I mean, that's action, right? That's demonstrating how CFC is truly full circle, and how when life shows up on our doorstep, and it did, charities were there right behind it, ready to help you. So, just be cognizant of that as we relaunch this campaign over these next 6 weeks. So, we want to acknowledge all of this, and we don't want to come in with pressure. We want to emphasize voluntary giving. We want to be sensitive to financial strain. We're not, no one's ever looking for the $1,000 gifts. I mean, we do have a lot of generous donors, and that's great for those who can give that amount. But the collective impact of everybody even just giving $10, $15, $20 to something that you care about, whether that's a food organization, an environment organization, whatever that is, that collective impact is massive. If everybody gave just a little bit, it would be incredible. And the charities need it more than ever, guys. They've been strained, right? They've lost federal grants and funding this year, not to mention, the CFC and the campaign being shut down during prime time of giving. So, and they're taxed, right? They've been asked to provide extra resources during the last several months. So they're definitely needing our support, and we want to make sure that we deliver that request with empathy, care, concern, demonstrating how they showed up for us. And the truth is that we saw this during COVID, that during times of uncertainty, when the world feels chaotic and we have a lack of control around us, people are actually compelled to give. They want to put their efforts towards something they care about. They want to kind of feel that sense of control, that they can make a positive difference, have an impact in the world that they want to see and they believe in around them. So you might be surprised that people, especially as they're getting their back payments and stuff, every little bit goes a long way. So, keep that in mind, that people do want to give. It's who you are as public servants, and that during times like these, they're even more compelled to do so. We've just got to make sure that we're presenting it appropriately after everything that everyone's been through. So I'm going to pause there, and Bruce is going to play a thank you video that my team created as you guys come back to the workplace, that we will be disseminating and sharing. And truly, from our hearts to yours, we see you, we feel you, we hurt for you, and we're so glad to have you back. Thanks, Bruce.
All right, is it on screen?
No, sir.
Let me try this again. How about now? Okay, here we go.
You have the audio on?
You continue to show
It's just low.
care and service truly means. You carry the mission, protect the process, and deliver for our country.
We see the long hours, the shifting priorities, and constant dedication it takes
to keep serving under circumstances that can feel impossible.
Your work is the backbone of this nation.
And through CFC, you ensure our charities are there when people need them most.
You remind us daily that service is an act of courage and care.
You matter. Your work matters. Thank you for your resilience.
And thank you for your heart.
And we will drop that link into the chat, so you can feel free to watch that later if you'd like, or share it with your colleagues. Again, from all of us at MPMA and the CFC, Office of the CFC, we are truly grateful for you. And it's important that you do know that you are appreciated and you are needed. All right, back to the slide deck.
It is really unsettling to have to deal with somebody that is a difficult personality. Who, whenever they get overwhelmed or upset, they're like, nobody ever listens to me. Like, "Rah."
Can you turn off your sound, Bruce?
How do you respond to that?
Boy,
I'm
what
sorry. I think the next video started playing, I guess. So
I
that's
hope
funny.
people are laughing. I mean, I can't help but laugh a little there. So, dealing with difficult personality. How perfectly played, Bruce. Not that you intended to. All right. So chat engagement, guys. We want to hear from you now. We want to know, and these are hard questions, and we appreciate that it's the answers are probably going to be hard to hear, but it is important for us to understand how are you? How are your colleagues? What's the morale like at your office? How's your leadership? What's their tone? What's their posture? I'm sure you guys are feeling under pressure with your work because you've missed so much of it. You're probably playing catch up, trying to figure out what to do next and how to move forward. And, are you still hearing of people in need, whether it's, your colleagues or their children or your neighbors? What are you hearing around you as well? So if you guys could start engaging in the chat, we'll give you just a few minutes to answer a couple questions. It's important for us to be able to reflect on this as we prepare to support you, understanding how you're feeling and what you've been through truly. Yeah. Oh my gosh, down from a team of 17 to 6. Yeah, working without pay. There was a lot of people that and talk about, demoralizing. I'm sure that was just an impossible feeling. How's the overall tone at your guys' office? Are you, are people excited to be back a little bit? Is there some, oh my goodness, I missed you so much. I can't believe what we've been through, but people are coming together. Sometimes, when the world falls apart, we grow stronger and closer together with people. So maybe there's a sense of that as well. Gotten closer. Yeah, we've heard this, the current CRs through January 31st. Yeah, lots of socializing. Perfect. And we're going to talk about how, CFC is an approved and authorized program that you guys can leverage to boost morale, keeping the ask light, demonstrating the full circle, truth about CFC and the charities that showed up, and bringing people together around, a chili feed or an ice cream social, or, trying to boost morale in your office. You can use CFC to do this. All right, we're going to go on to, thank you, Barbara. Perfect. We will be pulling these chats down as well and rereading them and trying to learn from them. So again, anything that you think we can benefit knowing, understanding, please, share in the chat so that we know how to best support you. One of the things we did during the shutdown was we asked the charities, hey, what are you doing for the federal employees? Do you have resources specifically for them? What do those look like? And we created resource sheets for each zone. Every zone had a resource sheet that was emailed. Now we know that a lot of those emails came back, unread or unable to be received at the time because of the furlough, etc. And so hopefully you found them in your box. If you haven't seen the resource sheet for your zone and you would like a copy, feel free to drop that in the chat and we can post it here or email it to you directly. But we do have resource sheets. CFC is a resource. Yes, it is charities that that pay for this campaign, that, want you to consider giving to them, et cetera, of course. But they are also here for you and your families and your neighbors and our communities when we need them. I have benefited from CFC charities. I'm pretty sure everybody on my team has benefited from a CFC charity. No one is immune to being the recipient, a person in need, especially again when life shows up on your doorstep. So yes, absolutely, Midwest. We've got some people looking for the resource sheet, so we will get those to you. Share the charity guide. It's on the website. You can find the charity search engine. Again, CFC is a resource for people. If you hear anybody that's in need, remember the CFC and what it provides, not just what it asks of us, but what it provides for us. And then we also asked our charities to create videos for you guys. Gift to impact, demonstrating the impact that your gift has when you give even just a small amount to a nonprofit. So we're going to show you a couple of those. And these playlists can be found on our YouTube channel. So we'll put this link in there as well. You can use these short videos to demonstrate, to bring awareness about CFC and again, the impact of giving to these charities when your colleagues join you in giving through CFC this fall. So Bruce, do you want to take us to the YouTube channel and show them where these are at, and maybe just play a couple of, I don't know, we could maybe play the hunger ones, or we've organized them by causes, you guys. So if it's veterans, well, we just passed Veterans Week. Gosh, where did that 45 days go, right? It feels like we missed all of that. But we've got them organized by causes for you, so you can focus on. Thanks, Bruce. I'll be quiet now. So here's an example.
All right, hopefully the sound is still on. So.
Hey, federal employees. Thank you for your generous gifts through your combined federal campaign. Every gift you give has a measurable impact. The gifts we receive through the CFC allow us to share and distribute food with over 100,000 neighbors across 32 counties in Missouri. We are deeply grateful for your commitment to our country and for your support to the causes you care about through the CFC. Whether you give to us or any participating charity in the CFC, together we are transforming lives and building a better future.
Hello, federal employees, and thank
You want to more than one, or there's lots? One,
We can play one more. Yeah, just play
one more. Okay.
you for your incredible generosity through the Combined Federal Campaign. Your support helps organizations like LPCK
make real, measurable difference in rural Oregon communities.
Your generosity is an extension of your public service. It shows your commitment to strengthening communities and improving lives nationwide. We are deeply grateful for your dedication to our country and for choosing to support causes that matter through the CFC.
Hello to all of our federal.
So you got kind of a feel for it. Again, when you go to our YouTube channel here, and Bruce, if you want to just show them real quick how to get to the playlist. Just back out one level, I think.
Hello, federal employees.
Sorry. If you go to...
Hey, federal employees, thank you for your generous gifts through your combined federal campaign. Every gift you give has a measurable impact.
Stop this.
Perfect.
If you go to our channel, it's at mycfc.org. I'll put this in the chat. And then you can go to playlists right here. And then G2I stands for Gift to Impact. And then you can see them sorted here by category. So sports, mental health, faith-based, youth development. All of these are recent videos that over 100 charities have submitted to us, talking about the good that they can do and do with your donations. And then if you want to watch them all, they're all under this Gift to Impact series. I think we're up to 109 currently. So that's where you can find it.
Perfect. Thanks, Bruce. And then on the home tab is where you can find our thank you message. So you've got our YouTube channel. Please take a look at those videos. And thank you again for sharing those. The charities are excited to get their messages out and help you understand how you've had a positive impact by giving to them through CFC. So lots of support and resources to be shared during this time. So if you hear of anybody in need, have any questions that come up around this, by all means, please reach out to us. CFC is here to help where needed. Next slide. All right, so we're shifting our focus with relaunching the campaign. We're pivoting from asking to acting. You know, we want to highlight the act. We want to highlight and demonstrate the actual impact that charities have had on federal families. There's a Facebook page. If you guys want to drop the Facebook page in there too, a national Facebook page that we could share images of. If you guys, there is a form when there's federal employees involved, we do have to get permission from them. But if you have stories that demonstrate federal employees receiving support during the shutdown, there's no better way to demonstrate, again, that full circle truth about CFC than by sharing how they've helped us. So creating meaningful opportunities for your colleagues also to take a positive action. And one of the ways you can do this, which also coincides with boosting morale, is by planning a volunteer activity. Of course, you would need permission from leadership if it's going to be during the day. Or you could do it on your own time on the weekends, etc. You could do it as a group. You could do it as an individual with your family. And I'll tell you, you know, I've been in the position more than once where, you know, I was sent home too and didn't have a job and a purpose. And that's part of your identity, right? That gets like just stripped away from you. And it's really debilitating, really. And I know that during that time, when I would go out and volunteer in my community, I would read books to kids and go to the food bank and different activities. Gosh, when I got home from those activities, I felt okay again. And I felt like I was able to do something good in the world around me that just felt like it was falling apart. It goes back to that compelling need to put our efforts somewhere positive. So, you know, consider organizing a volunteer event. If you need a list of charities that offer volunteer events in your communities, let us know. Your area director or relationship manager can provide that to you. And then also, you know, again, small gifts, very small gifts go a long way, that collective impact. People that make payroll deductions through the online giving site, if you guys want to drop the giving site link in there as well. If you go and set up a profile and you make a gift through the giving site, those deductions will not start till after the first full pay period in January. So on or after around typically January 15th, even towards the end of the month. Payroll deductions are post-tax. However, I think it's really important, and a lot of people, not everybody's aware of this, but for next calendar year, individuals have a above the line deduction of $1,000 for charitable giving, and married couples filing joint have a $2,000 above the line. So I'm not saying, you know, go set up, you know, $1,000 or $2,000 contribution per se, but you do have that tax deduction coming your way. And it's the most generous one we've seen that I've ever seen for charitable giving. So that does apply for 2026. And payroll deduction pledges would be eligible for that. So it is something that you'd want to consider. Also, when there is a lapse in appropriations and you guys go home, you probably realized that if you were already giving through CFC, that your deductions were not retro deducted. They do not go back and take CFC contributions out. And so unfortunately, you know, I believe 2 full pay periods for most people were missed. In some cases, maybe more, depending on the pay system that you're under. But those deductions, if you had pledged $25 a pay period and you missed 2, that $50 did not get taken out or paid to your charity. So just so you are aware, there are no deductions retro deducted when there is a lapse of appropriations. Everybody who has their phone with them right now, if you guys could just pick it up real quick. I want to show you how easy this is. Above the line means you do not have to itemize, Paul. It's just if you take the standard deduction, you still can claim 1,000 individually or 2,000 as a married couple, which is really cool. Text to give is a really cool feature. Okay, the one thing that you want to know is you want to know what charity you're going to give to, and there is a pretty easy mechanism for doing that. But pull up your phones, everybody, with me, and open up a text. And you're going to send the message to the number 232669. I just want to show this to you because if you do have an event at your agency or your office, this is an easy way to get those small collective one-time gifts that make such a huge collective impact when they add up. So 232669, and you're just going to type the word give and send the text message. And then really quickly, and you can see it's done it to me I've done it several times, you'll see a message come back that says, CFC, thank you for your generosity. Click the link to give now. And so you'll want to click that first link to give now. The second link is the one we just put in the chat. That's the main website where you build the profile. But text to give, when you click that first link, you enter your email address, you enter your zip code, the one-time donation, the minimum is $10. But you can do, any number of it. So I'm going to say 25. And then CFC code, charity name. So you can just type anything in there. Like I'm going to say mental health, because I'll tell you what, my mental health has been really challenged here lately. So you search. I searched mental health. There's 150 results. I can scroll down. I see one in Hawaii, New Jersey, Kentucky, Colorado. There's lots of different ones in here. Military mental health, Alaska behavioral health. I'm going to select that one because I was born and raised in Alaska. So that's really cool, right? So it populates the code, has the charity. And then I make my gift. So it's super easy, and you can opt to receive a tax receipt by checking a box as well. So hopefully everybody here went through the process with me and saw how easy this was to do. 5. Perfect. Continue. And you can either do PayPal, Venmo, or you can enter a card. I have PayPal on my phone. I'm probably dating myself. I don't have Venmo, but when I click PayPal, it recognizes my face. I have the Face ID. I double click. Logging me in, agree and continue. And it's that easy. So yes, I would like my tax receipt. And it sends it to me. So Bruce did it with thank you, Barb. Yes, you'll want to make sure you put your work zip code in there. That is the only piece of information to ask for. Aside from that, it's completely anonymous giving, very simple to do, and gives everybody an easy way to give back to something in the moment when you're presenting CFC to them over the next several weeks. So if you have any questions about that, let us know. But again, we invite you to text GIVE to 232669 today and use the tool so that you can speak to it and promote it at your office. All right, step 4. All right, so again, we're really focusing with our re-engagement on changing the delivery and the tone. So keeping, low pressure, keeping it brief, keeping it easy, relative, peer-to-peer outreach, one-on-one asks, listening to your colleagues, understanding what they've been through, empathizing with them, and helping them to understand how CFC is full circle, focusing on that collective impact, whether it's text to give or setting up an account together. Federal employees, they are the epitome of public service, and giving back to their communities and creating a brighter future is who they are. And we know that they want to have that positive impact. So we are going to bring more information to you about Giving Tuesday. It's an easy opportunity to campaign. More to come on that. Today, we just wanted to discuss again how to re-engage and get your campaigns back in motion. So our next slide is actually one more question for you. We have another chat engagement, if you don't mind. Having heard everything we've discussed about re-engaging and changing our tone and changing the message around CFC being a full circle program, what are your ideas? What are your ideas to best engage your employees? Do you have anything that's come through your mind as you've listened to this? how can you leverage CFC to boost morale in your office and bring that spirit of giving and that camaraderie back to people after having been apart for so long. So if you have any ideas that you've thought about during this call or that you plan to implement, we'd love to hear those in the chat as well. I know during one of our trainings before the shutdown, somebody had said they were going to take a lunch cart and push it around and present CFC each week, a different cause each week. Yeah, all hand calls, right? We're available, Robert, if you want Bruce or one of us you give us 5 minutes, we'll take 4. We'll be brief, be bright, and be done. We're happy to support you with that as well. So if you guys have all call meetings, CFC stands ready to support you with those as well. All right, next slide. And we will
that
be
was at a time for the next deck.
the next one.
I'll pull
Okay,
that
perfect.
up.
And we will be providing massive, some different email messages and everything for you guys as well. Winterfest group, she'll do a CFC plug with everyone there. Excellent, Paul. Help them understand that CFC Charity showed up for our employees and now we can collectively, every little bit give back to them because, hey, yeah, as somebody said earlier, January 31 isn't too far away and we could need them again, right? All right, so we're going to go into our standardized training that we have shortened. Yep, we can get you all the materials. Yeah, and I'll take a moment just to address that in case you've received training. If you don't have materials, we did still push a lot out even during the shutdown. If you're not sure if something was sent to you or you need to order more supplies, incentive items, etc., please just drop it in the chat that you need what you need, and what somebody from my team will take down your email, and we will get your order placed for you because we do have materials that we want to get to you as quickly as possible. So there still are plenty of supplies, and if you need those, just let us know. Yeah, so the shopping cart idea was like if you have a lunch cart, somebody decorated it like around hunger and, went around and collected, CFC pledges and shared information about the impact of giving to hunger organizations. And so they just had a cart that they pushed around and decorated and, kind of had fun. They had, Halloween candy or, different types of treats on there as well. So, um, so yeah, if you guys want to address, there are people that are looking for supplies and stuff. So if you could also put in there your email address and maybe your city, state, just maybe my team knows where you're calling from, but in case they don't, we would like to make sure that we follow up with you today. Somebody from my team will follow up with you today to get you that, to get your orders placed. Trying to see if there was any other questions that I missed. Looks like
And there were a couple of questions in there about how to address a reduced workforce in their office. Any tips on that?
So fewer people that you have, right? So 70 now, we're down to about maybe 40, right? Yeah. So you could leverage this a couple different ways. I mean, obviously you'll be brief and be bright. You won't need as much materials, and maybe the duration of your campaign could be shorter. But I think acknowledging that these employees might not have jobs, I'm guessing this is due to rifts and such. There's an employee assistance fund for people that are without employment. There's charities out there that help with job placement and employment jobs. There's a jobs category. And so you might leverage that. You might acknowledge that, we have a reduction in force, and we know that many of our colleagues are not employed and are seeking jobs. So, this is a cause area I want to highlight this week, that there are charities that help with this. And in supporting these charities, we're also supporting, our colleagues, our families, our neighbors who are seeking employment, because there are a lot of people looking for jobs, especially, and not just due to the government situation, but AI, right? AI has a huge impact right now on job reduction. So That would be one thing that you could do, is leverage the cause of jobs as well. And we can engage with you directly and give you some event ideas as well. Any other questions, or should we move through this one, Bruce? Okay, perfect. All right, so this is just CFC 101, and we have condensed it down. So if you're a first-time coordinator, even if you were trained a few weeks ago prior to the shutdown, you might stick around with us. If you've been a coordinator for 10 years and you know what you're doing and you've got this, you could run this training yourself, feel free to exit the room or stay along with us and provide some ideas as well, or get your questions asked and answered in the chat. So what is the CFC? So these are things that you'll want to know as you go out and talk about it, re-engaging your campaign at your office. What is the CFC? The truth is that since 2020, more than 60% of the federal employees are actually new to government. So while we have a reduced workforce, it still is likely that many of your employees haven't heard about the CFC until you present it to them. So you might get questions about, well, what is CFC? And it's simply your workplace giving program. There's no federal grant. There's no giving money to the government. It's not mandatory participation, and it's not paid for with appropriated monies. It's non-appropriated funds. The charities actually pay for this program. They pay fees, they apply, they pay for your materials. The charities provide you your workplace giving campaign because they know that when you give a little bit through payroll deduction every month, it amounts to a much larger gift, and it helps them to budget and plan, and a lot of very beneficial things for nonprofits. So it's voluntary. Your charities are vetted by federal employees. They apply, again, they pay fees, and it's simply an employee benefit to federal employees. So if you can look at it that way, as an employee benefit and simply an opportunity, a pathway to give back to something you care about, it's pretty easy to explain. But if you get questions that you don't know the answer to, just say, hey, that's a great question, and then follow up with us. We'll get you the answer. And when you follow up with that answer, you might just secure a donor because you took the time to, get their questions asked and answered. So just realize that too, that if you don't know the answer to the question, you've got a team of people here ready to support you. All right, so why CFC? All right, so CFC, again, payroll deduction is an easy way to give. It has been going on for 60 plus years. I think it's in its 64th year, 64 or 65th year. And during this time, over $9 billion has been voluntarily contributed to nonprofit organizations across our country, around the world, by you and your colleagues. So, and it's that ease of payroll deduction that really collectively adds up to a, $9 billion legacy of federal giving. The charities are vetted. They go through a pretty, intense application process. They have to pay to apply. Once they are approved, then they have to pay to list. And again, they provide this campaign for you because they want you to use it. So if your charity is in this book, trust that your charity wants you to use CFC as a mechanism for giving. They paid for you to have this program. There are also volunteer hours now. So going back to boosting morale and bringing people together, building camaraderie, you can volunteer individually or even as a group, and you'll see a little bit more information on that here in a few minutes. And it's anonymous. You don't have to release your information, and you do it once a year. It's pretty simple. We come through in the fall, we give you the opportunity, the campaign closes, and the deductions start middle of January to end of January for that year, and then they stop. You do have to renew your pledge each year. Next slide. So how to give. We did the demonstration of text to donate, which is the quickest way to do a one-time gift. It's super easy. Again, I hope everybody took a moment to try that method of giving. There's also an app that you can use, which is also very cool. If you download it from the Google or Apple store, you log into it with the same credentials that you created when you developed your online giving account, and you can then easily manage your account through your phone as well. And that also provides that quick one-time giving opportunity. But not everybody has the app downloaded or wants another app. I can appreciate I have too many apps as it is. And so, not everybody's going to want the app. And so Text to Donate is an easy way to supplement that and or support events, since CFC does not accept cash for a variety of obvious reasons. The Text to Donate is an easy way to have an ice cream social or a cookie bake off or whatever type of event that you want to have where you have quick, easy one-time gifts that are processed. And then we always have the good old paper pledge form and pen. So if somebody uses that, make sure they make a copy of it because they aren't duplicated. They're just single pieces of paper. And that's how they would have to, for a tax receipt, they would need to keep a copy because an account is not set up for them. There's no way for them to get a copy of their receipt once it's mailed in. So those are your 4 different mechanisms for giving. And if you need paper pledge cards or charity books or any supplies, again, let us know in the chat and we can get those mailed out to you. I'm a paper kid. I kind of I even have a checkbook actually. Not everybody does. So those are the different mechanisms for giving. Guys, set up your own account, try the Text to Donate, understand how to give so that when you get questions about it, you know how the systems work. It's very important. So next slide. All right, perfect. So campaign worker roles, that's you guys, coordinators, key workers, etc. There is a CFC playbook. If somebody could drop that link into the chat too. This playbook complements the steps we're going to go through here today and has even additional information that was provided pre-shutdown. So campaign workers, maybe you go by the coordinator, maybe you're called a campaign manager, maybe you're called an installation project officer. A lot of our DoD go by that. There's lots of different terms for it, but you guys are all volunteers for the CFC, going above and beyond your, federal positions to ensure your employees, your colleagues are invited to give, because that's the only way. And it's one of the most beautiful things about the CFC is that the way people are invited to participate is one person inviting another. So remember that if there's one goal that you have, it's to ensure that everybody in your office is extended an opportunity to give. Yes, send emails. Yes, hang posters. Yes, have events, but also stop and have a conversation with them and ask them what causes they care about. How did they manage through the shutdown? What did they do to keep their spirits up? Engage with your colleagues, get to know them a little bit, maybe become a little vulnerable. And, it's pretty cool what you learn from people and how you grow together stronger from these conversations. So use CFC to that advantage. You're going to want to build a team. If you have more than, 30 people at your office, you might, want to have, a few extra people to help you out. The regulations say that I think it's 1 volunteer for every 25 people, again, because it's that personal ask that occurs. And if you have 200 people and it's just you, that's a lot of people to be, asking, right? So building a team, making a plan, working a plan is what we're going to talk about now. So next slide. All right, so make a plan, work a plan. We did have a demographic form that we had sent out. Many of you guys probably sent it back already. If you haven't yet updated your information, such as your employee count changing, we do want to keep track of that. Please let your relationship manager from our team know any updates, changes, anything we need to know about your agency or your office and what's going on is very helpful for us to be able to support you. So, and if you're not sure who your relationship manager is on our team, just put your city and state in the chat, and we can drop their contact information in here as well. Our team is bless you. Our team is back at the table this week, picking up the phone, calling all accounts. So you may have a voicemail from us already or an email in your inbox. We do appreciate that your inboxes are probably pretty full. So we are also making phone calls. But if you're not sure who your point of contact is for my team, please let us know in the chat, and we can make sure you have the right person. So and they're going to help you make your plan, and they're going to help you work your plan. We know you don't have a lot of time, and so it is our intention to make this between now and December 31st. That's when it closes, guys. We've got a big lift here on a short runway. to navigate. So we're here to help you, and we're going to make this as easy as we can for you. So introducing the CFC, again, if you have an all call, all hands on deck, all staff meeting, whatever your team calls it, please let us know. We're happy to come in and, make a pitch for you and support you with that. Yes, right now it is new. Typically it is the 15th of January. Right now it is scheduled for 31 December. So if that changes, we will let you know. But at this point, that is the date that we are operating under. So we want to introduce the CFC. We want to promote the CFC, help them see the value of it, why give through it, the full circle truth of the CFC and how charities are there for us when we need them. And then finishing strong. People want to give and they will procrastinate. So do make sure that you have a plan sometime in December to finish strong and make that final call to action in December and talk with people. People give to people they trust who ask them to give. There is no more powerful tool that you have than you personally asking your colleagues to consider giving to a cause they care about. And you could as easily say, hey, pull up your phone, text to give, and walk them through that process right there. All right, go ahead. Next slide. So the steps of being a successful coordinator, again, we talked about introducing the CFC, conducting a briefing, distributing handouts. If there are existing events already happening or meetings, get CFC on the agenda, share stories. If you hear people who, were impacted and received support from a charity during the shutdown, ask them to speak. Hey, are you willing to share your story? Sometimes they are. Charities can also come out and support this. Ask leaders to share their why. There are lots of different ways that you can introduce and demonstrate how CFC supports our colleagues, our friends, our families, our neighbors, our communities. Next slide. Promoting it. So we've got, again, lots of different assets. We've got posters, we've got a giving card, we've got, virtual backgrounds. If you're doing a virtual meeting, maybe use one of the virtual backgrounds to put CFC on the screen so people see it. Work with your PAO, whoever leads communications, your social media channels, populate your digital boards, get approval to hang posters up from, etc. Get those people on your team so that you can get this information to them to disseminate. There's splash screens, so you can put it on your computers when people log in every morning. There's a QR code that takes them straight to the giving site. So you want to promote, publicize, and make sure that CFC is visible. If you don't see it around your office, nobody else is seeing it around your office. So think about how you communicate with your coordinators or your colleagues. Do you guys have an app? Do you use social media? Some people do. Some agencies use social media to communicate with their employees. Some agencies do not have a social media presence. We respect that what works for one agency doesn't work for another agency. So you've got to take components of what we're talking about here today and build your plan based on what's best for your employees. So think about how to best promote the CFC and get the message, the visibility of the program out there consistently. Next slide. All right, and then finishing strong. Again, December 31 is our end date, so we want to make sure that we have, a final event, closing ceremony, a celebration. I've seen agencies give away parking spots or, different things at their closeout event. Think about how you can have some fun with it. Again, building morale, etc. And then just get that last reminder that, hey, it's last call, guys. We know you want to give. We know it's important to you. And invite them to give.
CFC, this is Naomi.
Naomi, can you mute yourself? Thank you. She's out there. Think about how to finish strong. We do have results reports that we can give you. We're not sending them at this time like we normally would be. We typically would be sending them weekly to you because the results, frankly, just aren't there, guys. The campaign started October 1. And you guys were not, you guys went home. So the results aren't there. And we don't want to give you demoralizing numbers when you guys are just coming back to the office. We want to give you a time to get your campaigns re-engaged, started, launched, and get some results in. And then we will start providing you those progress reports. If you would like a report, we can give it to you. So just let us know and we will absolutely send it to you. We're just not in our battle rhythm of the reoccurring weekly reports at this point because we want to give you guys an opportunity to get some pledges on deck first. Next slide. All right, so we're going to touch briefly on events, and then we're going to see if there's any questions and get you out of here. There is a whole event process. In fact, there's an event playbook if you want to drop that in the chat to someone from my team so that they have that as well, or we can email it to you. Let us know how you want to receive it. Having events is great for morale building. We encourage you to do so. You know, make a plan, look at the calendar, schedule a kickoff, a mid-campaign. Maybe you want to do Giving Tuesday. Maybe you want to have a closeout event. Whatever that looks like, make sure you have approval. There's a process for requesting charities that we manage for you. So we make this process as easy on you as possible. But you want to promote and publicize this so that you have the attendance. And again, if there are other events happening at your locations, maybe every Monday there's food trucks that come to the building. And so you're going to set up a CFC table and promote you know, giving at the food truck event or something. Think about where you can just kind of come alongside where there's high participation, high traffic, foot traffic, and that will lead for success. But so there is a process. Again, next slide. For this to request the event, there's an online event request form. If somebody wants to drop that in the, Antonia, maybe you can drop so we get it right, where they would request an event. There's some questions in there that you would have to ask, and you'd want to know, like, again, when are you going to have it? How many people do you expect to be there? When do they need to arrive? Are you wanting us to randomly select the charities? Do you want us to randomly select hunger charities or animal charities, etc.? So there's a variety of different questions in there. And then you'll receive a confirmation email with additional information eventually that include the charities that said yes. And at that point, that confirmation email is our handoff to you to then work directly with your charities in preparation for your event. But it's a little bit of a process, and it takes it takes some planning and some work. So all that aside, thank you, Antonia. There is the event request form. So go ahead and maybe copy that and save that. If that link doesn't work for you, just let your point of contact on my team know, and they can help build a request for you. For some people, they can't access this system. So again, what works for one agency doesn't work for another, but majority of people can. Just let us know if you can't, and we'll help you through the process. But all this aside, having events, and we encourage them and we want you to have them, we also wanted to let you know that in light of everything that's just occurred and the short runway, that the time constraint that we're under, that your OC is going to offer CFC pop-up events. We are going to host these. We're going to organize them. We're going to bring fun to them. We're going to have charity videos, some game interactions, etc. And it's going to be 15 minutes. Be brief, be bright, be done. And so if you want to extend these events to your employees and say, hey, CFC is having a pop-up event for Giving Tuesday, please log in at 10 a.m. Please join us at 10 a.m., noon, 2 p.m. Central. These are the different time zones, right, Bruce? Pacific, Mountain, and Central time zone, I believe is what
they're all Central time zone. We're doing 3 each day.
Oh,
so you have options.
Okay, perfect. So thank you, Bruce. I appreciate that. It's been kind of wild getting back into the saddle after those 45 days. So each of these Tuesdays, we're going to have 3 different 15-minute segments, 10 a.m. Central, noon Central, 2 p.m. Central. You don't have to attend them all. You can just pick one a day that you invite your colleagues to, or you can invite them to all of them, whatever you prefer. We will provide some flyers for this, promoting and publicizing. But this is us bringing an event to you so you don't have to do anything. Again, we're trying to make this as easy on you as possible, presenting CFC and, extending the opportunity to give through a little bit of fun. So yes, we will do flyers in other time zones as well. Bruce, let's take note for the pop events. Absolutely more to come. This was just something as we sat around the table yesterday saying, What can we do to help our coordinators have a successful campaign without putting the burden on them? And so this is what we came up with. And again, if you guys have ideas on what we can do for you, tell us, because we are great at implementing things. We do try to come up with a lot of great ideas, but often you guys are the ones with the great ideas. So if you have an idea or a need or a request that you would like to pull off, but you're not sure how to do it, let us know and let us help you do it. We are great at that. Next slide. We talked about volunteering again. This is a great opportunity to boost morale. So just another event type is volunteering, whether that's individual, with your family, as a group, etc. And yes, those pop-up events will be on Teams. We have learned that the majority, probably a solid 98% of federal employees are on MS Teams. We have very little attendance on Zoom anymore. So we will keep these on Teams for you guys, and we will get those flyers ready to go here pretty quickly and in your hands so you can start disseminating the information and inviting your colleagues and yourself and your leadership and everybody you know, post them on your agency, social media pages, etc. We welcome everybody to those events. So yeah, and volunteering is, again, another type of event that you can leverage. Just remember to enter your time in that online giving system so that your agency gets credit for the volunteer time, because there is a monetary value assessed as determined by the charity. The charity says, oh, value of an hour is $10 or $25. And then you go and you do 4 hours. Well, now your agency just got credited at $25 an hour, $100 towards volunteer time as a part of your overall totals raised. So there is a monetary value that is assessed and added to your results when you enter your volunteer hours through the CFC giving system. Next slide. All right, so tools and resources. So givecfc.org is your website. It's your friend. There's a ton of information on here. You're going to want to select that campaign workers tab. That's where everything pertaining to you lives. And then also there's that fancy donate button that takes you through the secure online giving system where you can set up a profile, make a pledge, pledge volunteer hours, keep track of your donations, print out your tax receipt from, etc. That is your own account where you manage your giving. And so, realize that is kind of like you have your healthcare account, your TSP account, etc. You have a charitable giving account, and this is where you access that is through givecfc.org, selecting that donate button. So this is one of your resources. And then also, next slide. We are your resource. So I know we've given you a lot of information today. We've shared so much with you in the chat, different resources, the playbooks, and how to request materials, etc. If you have any questions, you can drop them in the chat, unmute, email us. We will be emailing, calling you as well. So please pick up the phone. And again, most importantly, welcome back. We cannot be more grateful to have you back. And we're here. We're here for you. We see you. We appreciate you. As we said in the video, you matter. Your work matters. We're so sorry for what you've been through. And we hope that on the other side of this, CFC can be a positive benefit impact to you and your colleagues this fall and so on. So yeah, interesting. So phones were disconnected, right? So interesting. Yeah, important for us to know, right? So whoever is working with Ms. Walker, make sure you send her email since her phones are currently disconnected. So if you have another email you want to share with our teammate Dorothea, you can let them know as well. We will communicate with you how you best receive communications, of course. But we will be in touch. And again, thank you, thank you, thank you. If there's anything we can do for you, please let us know. All right. Any other questions or anything, guys? Oh, you guys are welcome. Welcome. All right. Take care. Talk to you guys soon. Bye for now. You're welcome.